All right. Get. We're going to give it a couple minutes, let others get in that might be running late. And then let me move this over for a moment. Make sure that I can share my screen here. Get the Q&A up here. We'll go with that. Make sure my audio is working. It looks like it is. Righty then. Not going to go over the don't really have any pressing updates to go over today. Let me get my screen share going. Move this, and let's see, did I lose my Q&A? Where is my Q&A? Well, you know, it's never easy with Zoom. It's just never easy with Zoom. I might have the chat turned on. I'm not sure if I do. You can give me a 1 in the chat if you see it. If not, no big deal. You can use the Q&A. Just want to make sure I don't need Fathom on. All right, it's about 2 minutes. I'm going to give it until about 3 minutes after 12 before I jump into the workshop. So just chill, have a drink, we'll hang out. And then once we give the rest of everybody a chance to get in here, then we'll jump into it. Yes, absolutely. There is going to be a replay shortly after the workshop today. I will post the replay inside the community. We're going to have an entire library of all of our past workshops. I've also got some pretty cool one-on-ones that I did with a couple of our enterprise clients, going over their stuff that I think will be really interesting for everybody. That will be more in terms of ads stuff, is where we're going to put that in the community. So yeah, keep a lookout for the past recordings. They're going to be pretty cool, pretty helpful. All right, so I think I've given everybody enough time, so we're going to go ahead and jump into this. Today, what we're going to focus on is our appointment calendar. Now, the one that I'm going to be working with is the automated AI appointment funnel. That's not the only appointment funnel that you have to use in the system. You can create your own or grab another one of the appointment funnels that we have. The basic setup is all the same. Okay, so don't get caught up in like what type you're using. All right. Now, I'm also going to be adding into the community, and this is going to be a check sheet, right? All of the steps to go through to really fine tune your appointment funnel. And one of the things that we're going to be talking about a lot today is the trigger link. And I want to explain exactly what trigger links are and how we use them, because without a doubt, it is one of the it's one of the most underutilized tools that we have. And number two, it's it's amazing the things that you can do with these trainings that really let you know like who's paying attention, right? So when we go in and we look at our pipeline, we really want to know like what steps have they taken. So for an example, let's let's go to our funnel here. Let me bring up our funnel that we're working on. Where you're going to find the one that we're working on today is go to sites, go to your funnels, and there's a folder that I created. It's called the Automated AI Appointment Funnel. Open up this guy, and we're going to be working on the Automated AI Appointment Funnel version 2. And once we open this up, here's the steps that we have, and I'm going to get into the trigger links first. You have your opt-in page, and by default, I put at the top of this funnel the opt-in page with no video. If you want to use an opt-in page with a video, and I suggest that you do, you can just swap out the one with no video for the one with video right here. I already built it out. Here's what it looks like. I already built it out so that all that you have to do is just go into the settings and insert your video right into there. Okay, before we get to that, close this out. All right, trigger links. You have your opt-in page, and it's just a simple form, right? It's a very simple opt-in page. And by the way, simple opt-in pages work the best, okay? Everybody tries to like throw a ton of stuff into their opt-in pages. I'm telling you right now, like after 15 years of using these things, the highest converting opt-in page is always the one with a call out and then your offer line right here that says exactly what it is and the result that they're going to get without doing the thing that the pain point that nobody wants to do, and then a button that, with your form. That's it. Okay. Don't overcomplicate your opt-in form, please. If you want to build a list, keep it simple like this. The only thing that I would add to this is the VSL, the video sales letter, which is just going to be a simple, like you just turn on the camera and you're like, this is who this is for, this is who it helps, all of that. Okay. So this is your opt-in page. You don't need to see the pop-up. Okay, cool. Now, once they opt in and you collect the information, which should just be the name, the phone number, the email address, they're going to automatically go to the DSL page. Now, this one does include a video by default, as it should. This is where you're going to present your offers, and not just your offer, but why they should hop on a call. And you're going to talk about like what you're going to go over after they schedule the call, or what you're going to go over on the call, right? This is where you also want to relieve any of their anxiety about, you know, am I going to just hop on a sales call? You should always emphasize that, you know, this is not just about getting you on a sales call. This is about me presenting what we can do for you, but also making sure that you're the right person, or your business is where it needs to be in order for us to work with you. All right. So once they come to that page, you're going to have, and it's on our worksheet right here, you're going to have a qualification survey. You don't have to, okay? If your offer, like let's say that as an example, my ad agency, okay? We only worked with those that had a 20K per month ad budget. So part of our qualification form or survey is going to be identifying, asking them questions like, what is your current ad budget, right? What are you spending right now on ads? If we can improve your performance and if we can hit the goals that you're trying to get, can you meet our minimum qualification, which is 20K per month in ad spend? Yes or no, right? Because that way, whenever we were creating appointments for our sales team, they have to be qualified, right? We want to do as much of the qualification through the funnel process before we actually send them to a sales call. Because our sales team, I never wanted them to do the qualification. Their objective is figure out if you can help them, number one, right? And number two, if we can help them and that they're the ideal candidate for our services, um, are they ready to start right away? And then laying out the process for doing it. So that's why the qualification survey exists and it's built into the system. So I'll show you how to edit your surveys and change the questions that you ask, yada, yada, yada. Okay, now they made it this far. They fill out the survey page. Now, as soon as they complete the survey, they go directly to your book a call page. This is where the trigger link comes into play, okay? Because we want to know who made it to our booking page and did not book a call, right? So if I know that they went through the opt-in, they went through the DSL, they landed on my booking page, and tomorrow we don't have an appointment with those people, right? Well, there's some actions that we can take. I mean, number one, we want to know how far along in the sales process our prospects are, right? Identify exactly where they are. That's number one. Number two, what actions can we take? Well, it makes sense that if you know that they landed on your book a call page and they didn't book a call, maybe they just didn't see any times that were available, right? Maybe your calendar is only open for 7 days and they don't have any time, right, available during that time. So we should have a follow-up process for that situation. And I'm going to show you how we do that. And I'm actually going to build it for you in real time. Okay. So this is your booking page. Once they book the call, they will automatically go to your thank you page. When they land on your thank you page, don't just give them like a giant thank you, I'll see you on the call, right? We want to ensure that they're actually going to show up to the call. Now, yes, we do have a follow-up process that we can build out within our calendar that's going to, remind them of when their appointment is coming up. And you can create a whole series of, 5 different emails and text messages that go out, to get them to show up for the call. But we also want to go over anything that's really important on this page to kind of hype up the appointment, right? Make this an event that's going to happen that they're actually looking forward to, right? And any bit of good value that you can deliver on that call, think about that. Think about, how do I actually provide something, right? Some kind of help, some kind of result, right? It all goes back to goodwill, okay? We don't always just want to be selling, okay? And I know that that's like, the most popular thing that came from that movie, ABC, or Always Be Closing, or whatever it is. You don't need to be that way, okay? The best way to get people to the point that they know, like, and trust you is to go ahead and deliver some goodwill. Okay. Help them. The best way to prove that you can help somebody is to actually go ahead and just help them. All right. So this is the anatomy, this is the layout of our appointment funnel. Now let's get to how we're going to build out those trigger links. Because like I said, and that's why I put it on this doc that I'm going to give you, this is a really important step, creating our trigger link, okay? Now, I'm going to go to automations. Actually, I'm going to go to marketing. We're going to create the trigger link first, okay? Now, when you go to marketing, you're going to have this little band up here where you'll see all these options and you'll see trigger links right here. It's like, it's buried in the system within a folder, and it's literally like one of the most important things and tools that we can use inside of HighLevel. So we're going to add a link, and we would name this just like something very, very simple that we remember, like my booking page. Okay. Now you're going to put in the URL. Okay. Now, obviously, you have to have your domain integrated into the system in order to have a URL. But just as a placeholder, I'm just going to put in https://mysite.com. Okay. Okay. We've now created a trigger link. That simple. Now, how do we use this trigger link? Okay, let's go to our automations. We're going to hop into our automations. And just like sites, I've got a folder for y'all. The automated AI appointment funnel automations. It's kind of a tongue twister. Made it that way on purpose. That's a cool way to do it. All right, we've got lead nurture folder. We got two workflows in here. We've got our new lead automation, right? So this is the stuff that happens as soon as they fill out that first opt-in form. And then we're going to put them into a 10-week lead nurture sequence at a determined time. But let's do a whole new workflow all about capturing people that land on our booking page. So we go create workflow, and we're just going to start from scratch. And by the way, once I build out this template in here, you're just going to have to change a couple of things. This is going to be in your system. And if you need me to push this update into your sub account, just let me know in the community and I'll do so, but you'll have this framework after this call today. So we're going to start with a trigger. So I'm going to add workflow trigger, search for trigger, just type in trigger, right? And there we go, events, trigger link clicked, voila, yes, that's what I want. Okay, add filter, select trigger link. Trigger link is my booking page. Boom. Okay, we've now created that trigger. So now what are the things that we want to happen once that trigger link is clicked? Well, what I would do, what makes sense is, well, we should wait a damn minute and see what they do, right? Because we don't want to immediately start following up with them about why they didn't book their call 30 seconds after they landed on the page. So let's stick a wait in there. We're going to wait. Let's just do a time delay. Let's say we give them 45 minutes, right? They landed on the page. They thought about it. They read all the stuff. Maybe they got distracted. Maybe they thought, all right, let me go grab a coffee and then I'll come back to this later, right? We want to give them a little bit of time. Don't rush it. So I think 45 minutes makes sense. Let's go ahead and name the action, exactly what we're doing. We're going to wait 45 minutes. Now, if you want to change this, right? Change this to an hour, change this to 5 minutes, whatever you want to do. All right, but we're going to wait 45 minutes. The next thing that we're going to do is put in a, let's do an if else. Right? do an if else, or what it really should do is look for a tag. So let's just do contact details. And let's just look for tags. Does not include, because the idea is when they book a call, we're going to tag them that they booked a call, right? So let's put in here, tag does not include booked call, right? Let's check for tag. Okay, well, I did that. All right, voila. Now, let me just make sure that my volume is good. Looks like it is. All right, cool. So now we're gonna wait 45 minutes and we're gonna check, okay, does the booked call tag exist? And right in here, if they did book a call, well, we don't need to do anything. Let's just leave that alone for now. Let's just focus on what we're gonna do if they have not booked the call. So it makes sense that we should send them an email. So let's just put your name, your email. Make sure that you change these, obviously. It's in all the directions. And then subject line. Follow up. Right, just do something simple like that. Then you can say, hey, and then we will use our custom tags right here to insert their first name. Boom. Hey, Eddie. Noticed you did not put a call. Just wanted to follow up and see if maybe there is not a time that works for you. Either way, let me know. And then just put that in there. And I'm going to save that. Okay. Now, the next thing that makes sense is let's do an internal notification. All right. Let's search for internal. All right, here we got send internal notification. Cool, cool, cool. That's what we want. Send internal notification. And you could do SMS. I'm going to leave this because I don't think that I'm in a demo account, so I don't think that I have any particular users. So I'm just going to do all users. And then prospect who not a call and booking page. Follow up. Now we can include who it is, right? So we'll use our custom fields over here. Contact, full name. Let's go ahead and put the email. Let's go ahead and put the phone. Cool. Now, this can be a reminder, right? This can be a notification that goes to you. This can go to, if you have a salesperson or sales team, this can be someone on your sales team, right? Anybody that needs this information. So we'll include that right there. If you wanted to, you could do other cool stuff like send a voicemail. This is, again, one of the most underutilized tools. That's super helpful. What I like to do, leave a voicemail, and you can record something that, obviously we want to record something that's universal, right? It's going to be like, hey, I just noticed that you made it to my booking page, didn't find a time, I guess, to book a call. So I'm just following up with you to see if maybe we can find a time that works for us both. I'm going to go ahead and send you a text, reply to the text, and let me know. Cool. So now you're leaving them a voicemail. It's probably not going to let me, it's not going to let me do it because I don't have an MP3 file to put in there. Okay, no worries. Just put a note here. Also, upload a voicemail. Actually, you know what? There's a better way for me to delete this. Close that. I think we got notes over here. Sticky notes. Let's do a sticky note. This down. Yeah. And this is just, I'm just putting this as a reminder for y'all. Also, voice mail drop. Cool. Yeah, and this is a so a voicemail drop. If you've ever it's probably happened to everybody where your phone will ring like one time and then it just stops, and then 2 minutes later you have a voicemail. That's a voicemail drop, right? So yeah, it's not going to call them and they might answer, and no, it's literally just it's gonna force a voicemail drop is what it's going to do. And it's an important step, because one of the things, again, that we never did, or we stopped doing, we didn't just call people out of the blue and try to get them on the phone, because one of the things that we noticed is, we noticed this a long time ago, and it's true, people these days, they just don't answer calls from numbers that they don't recognize, right? So part of this process and why the voicemail drop and then the SMS is important is let them see the phone number. That way, when you actually do call, they recognize the phone number because they got a voicemail and they got an SMS. So let's go ahead and do the template for the SMS. Add that in there. And this could literally just be, here, let's do this the easy way. No use in redoing it. And literally just copy what we put in the email. Go right here on SMS. Send SMS. Paste that right in there. The other thing that you can do, if you and actually this is something that we let's actually give them a link back to the booking page, right? You can just say, if you're ready to schedule here's the book. Okay. Now, in SMS, the way that you can find your trigger links is right here, this little lightning bolt right there. Boom. You just click that, my booking page, it inserts it right there, and it's just that code. Right? If you want to see, and it's a good idea to always do this, you want to see the text, you can put in your phone number right here. You always have to do +1, area code, and then your phone number, and then send test SMS, and that will go to your phone so that you can see what it actually looks like before you start setting it out. I recommend that you always do that on any new automations that you're working on. You can do the same thing with email, by the way. Good idea to always do that. Okay, so updated this. We've got the trigger link to send them back. Save that. Let's do that same thing in our email. So link. Page. Actually, in email, you can do this a little bit different. So you can do the trigger link thing, or you can just highlight text because it's an email. So you can just highlight the text and go over here to link. And this actually does the same thing. So under your URLs, because we created that trigger link, you'll actually find, there's my booking page. So I can stick that in there. Text display, here's a link back to my booking page. Action, want to do a new window. Save, voila. Now we're just putting the link inside the text, right? Looks a little bit better that way, I think. Anyway, that's what I like to do. All right, so we'll save this. Now, the other thing that we want to do is, okay, they clicked the link, and let's just go back before we wait 45 minutes. Let's update our pipeline. So I'm gonna go right there and I'm gonna do update. We'll look for our action to update, create update opportunity, which is your pipeline. We'll insert that in there. And we should have, I believe we've already created a pipeline for you, the automated AI appointment funnel right here. This is your pipeline that we created for your appointment funnel. In pipeline stage, for now, I'm going to do lead contacted, but we can actually change. We can actually create a stage or update this one of the stages to actually show that they went to the booking page. What I like to call it is like an engaged stage, right? So for now, we'll just put lead contacted to the first name, last name. You don't have to do the rest of this. I always do it like this. My opportunity source, if you click on your custom fields tab or tag, right in here, what you're going to look for is attribution. Come down here to attribution, click on attribution, and you can choose either first or last. I always go with first. And if it's paid ads, right? Then UTM campaign. Again, if you're using UTM parameters, I don't want to get into a whole conversation today about UTM parameters. That'll be something to go over in our ads coaching. But let's just say that UTM campaign parameter will let you know exactly which campaign from your ads that they came from. Okay, opportunity value. If you want to include this, absolutely go ahead and do it. Status should be open. Always open until they've purchased, signed up, whatever, then they would be one. Okay, so let's actually here, added to pipeline stage so we know exactly what we did. Boom, right there. Okay, I'm gonna save this. So now we'll be able to see in our pipeline when we go and we look at bird's eye view, right? All of our prospects in our pipeline will clearly be able to see, because we're using that trigger link, who went to our booking page. And that could just be a manual process, right? Like you don't have to have, I suggest that you do, but you don't have to have like a fully worked out automation to handle it. If all that you did was you just went to your pipeline and you're like, all right, who are the best prospects to call, right? Who should I fire off an SMS to, right? Or you could tell your sales team, hey, keep an eye on the pipeline, and anybody that's in that engaged sequence, anybody that's clicked on that trigger link, give them a call if we don't have something on the calendar, right? Get them on the phone. It could literally be that simple. The important thing here is use the trigger links, because they are invaluable to knowing where your prospects are in their decision-making process, in their buying process. Let's rename this workflow, and let's do engaged trigger link clicked. I'm gonna put in here booking page. Right, we want to identify like what trigger link it actually is. Because if you're like me, if you start building out like 20 different pipelines and 20 different funnels, right, you're gonna have like 40 different trigger links, right? So I want to know like, okay, which one was it? And I literally do. I have at least 40 different trigger links, because I want to know exactly what they're doing and when they did it, right? So I'm gonna pull out pull this out a little bit so everybody can see. Here's what our flow looks like. We've got our email, we've got our internal notification, we've got our SMS, and we are good to go. I have saved this for you all. Oh, one last thing I would make sure that we do is go into settings. Go into settings, and these two should by default be turned on, and you want them turned on. But go under time zones, and I always change this to contact time zone. In this particular workflow, it's really not that important, because we don't have a specific weight that we're doing. But whoops, do that. But let's just say that we wanted to follow up with them again, right? But we want to wait a day. Okay, we want to wait a day, and we want to pick a specific time, right? What is a good time to send a follow-up? One of my times that I always use, let's do wait. What I like to use is like 7:15 a.m., 7 a.m., right? I want to catch them like first thing in the morning, right? So if we do a time delay, and we're going to do this the next day, it really doesn't matter. You can do wait 10 hours. It really doesn't matter, because the important thing is we're going to use the advanced window. So we're going to click that. We're going to make sure that Sunday and Saturday is turned on, unless you don't want to send emails on Saturday and Sunday. We're going to do right here in the window, we're going to do exact time, and we're just going to choose 7 a.m. Right? So the reason that we changed that is so that we can now wait until 7 a.m. Let's wait for 7 a.m. and save, right? We want that to be the contact's time zone, obviously not my time zone. So, let's say that you're if you're in New York and someone in California, right? Well, you don't want to send them an email at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, right? Because it's 7 a.m. on the East Coast, right? So you send it on their time zone. All right, so we're going to save this. And again, this is going to be really simple for you all. Once this is loaded, into your sub account, you're not going to have to change much. You're going to obviously change your trigger link, right? Make sure that you got the right trigger link that you're using because you're going to add your own. Your pipeline, you don't have to change it, but if you've created a whole new pipeline or whatever, go ahead and change that. But you really just have to change the stuff that's green, right? Change the email, change the internal notification, change the SMS. I put the note in here, add your voicemail drop, if that's what you want to do, and you are good to go. So that is the engaged trigger link clicked booking page. This automation is ready to go for you. Now let's traverse back to our appointment funnel. And let's go over the other things on our list here. Let's talk about. We went over trigger link, calendar setup. I have an entire video all about creating the calendar, not just your calendar, but the notifications, the automatic notifications and reminders are all done within your calendar. Okay. So I will include a link once I finish this. I'm actually going to embed today's workshop right on this doc as a video. And I'm also going to put in a link to the video that I did on setting up your calendar. Okay. The next thing that we want to talk about is your opt-in form, forms in general, right? So let's go into here just for a second here. And all right, this is the one with no video. So let's edit here. We want to make sure, let me see what we're using. So on our button right here, if you click on the button, you can come over here on the right-hand side, and what we're looking for is button actions, right? So this is where you tell it what you want this button to do, and it's set to open pop-up. By default, when you add a button anywhere, the default is open pop-up. If you wanted it to go to a different step in the funnel, right, you can just choose that. If you want it to scroll to an element, whatever, you can make a call, send an SMS. But for the purposes of this, we want it to open the pop-up because that is where we are embedding our opt-in form. Now, if we come up here, this little box right here, this little doohickey, this is our pop-up settings. So click on that. Here's where we embed our form. And I believe we changed the name. This is the scheduling form. Let me change the name to lead opt-in form. I don't know why we did that. It should be more specific. I'm going to change the name of that when we get to forms. Okay. So you choose your form right there. You can click this and actually go and edit the form. Let's go ahead and do that. Because let's be more specific about which form this is. Blue spinning wheel of death. Okay. I just want to change the name here. Leave opt-in form for that way it's more specific this way. Okay, cool. Now, here's our form. Now, if you click inside the form, all right, and the orange outline is, you can see, okay, redirection action. And what this means is what happens next? They submitted the form. Where do we want to send them? Okay. And the way I have is you're just going to go to the next step. All right. Now you can Actually, on a pop-up, it has to be that or a website URL. Okay. So our form is correct. Now, if you wanted to, you can add the headline like at the top of the form. You really don't have to because we put the headline right in the form itself. But you don't have to. You can delete it from there and do it the other way, but whatever works best for you. Okay, so let's go back. I'm going to show you the actual way to get to your forms. Is why we're going to do this. It's still within funnels. They're still within sites. All right, but over here on the top band, this ribbon up here, you'll see forms, and then you're going to builder. Now we have a folder. So I like to keep everything organized. All the automated appointment funnel forms. And voila, we've got so that's our scheduling form, but we need to put this one right here in the folder. So let's move to folder. There we go. All right. So now we've got both of our forms in here. Here's the opt-in form and our scheduling form. Voila. Now, right from the view, like if you go into this form, you can click right here on submissions and you can see a list. You see everybody that has filled out this form right from there. Pretty cool. Settings, only if you're going to embed this form like outside of a funnel, do you need to adjust all of this. So if you were going to like embed this form in your like email or send it, blast it out to somebody, you're going to want to put in, you can use the message or you can open URL, right? So if you wanted to send them to your thank you page after they fill out the form, go grab your URL and just stick it right there. If you're not using the form inside a funnel, then go ahead and do your Facebook Pixel ID if you want to track that as well. And it says right here, ignore this field if you plan to use this form of survey inside of a funnel. So when you use it inside the funnel, you don't need to do that. I would adjust this right here. This defaults to, okay, for the pixel events on page view, it triggers page view. That's fine. That's correct. That's what we want. On form submission, I don't want it to be submit application. I want it to be lead, right? Particularly if you're running lead campaigns on Facebook, this will help aggregate it properly into your lead flows. Okay. I believe that is all that we need to check. If you want to change what's on the button, you just click on the button, go right here, change what we call it. If you want to change this text, just click on it, change it. Easy peasy. Back over here. All right, so that's our forms. Now let's go back to our funnel. And your DSL page. Now, they've opted in, they filled out the form, they land on your DSL page. So let's get in here and kind of go over the anatomy of this. And how you might change it. To start with, and I think we should have done this from the beginning. I'm actually going to make this, the width on this should probably be a lot smaller. Go. Okay. Keep your call out the same. Okay. Your call out is, who do you want, right? What type, who do you want to work with? Who is this for? Okay. put the call out specifically, right? This could be people that, you know, you get clients from Facebook ads or something like that if you're an ad agency. So it could be for like coaches, consultants, you know, internet freelancers, internet entrepreneurs, whatever you want to put. And then this is important. The result that they want, right? It doesn't have to be we guarantee. This could be, this is for those who want, and you put in the result that your ideal prospect wants, right? Without having to, their pain point, right? The thing that when they think about this, right? When they think about the result, what do they immediately think of as the pain that comes along with it, right? So this could be those who want to get more customers from Facebook ads without paying Zuck more money, right? Without spending a fortune on paid ads, right? How to increase your lead flow without paying a fortune in paid ads, something like that. Video, just restate. Okay, people keep asking, and this was in the Q&A, and I see it a lot, is VSL versus just typing it out, right? It's very simple. People are distracted, okay? We're all getting hit with a ton of stuff online constantly, all right? If you want to hold their attention for longer, use a video. People are, even if they're not looking at the screen, right? In order for them to pay attention, they have to be looking at the screen and reading, right? But even if they get distracted and they go to check for a text on their phone, they can still listen to the video, right? But then too, there's, you know, you can also repurpose your video. So every time you make a video, it's just something that you can reuse. It's a tool that's in your arsenal, right? You can follow up with people and send them a video, right? So there's just a lot of benefits that come with using a video. So that's why I recommend that we always use a VSL. All right. Now, on the scheduling page, this is completely optional. You don't have to do a qualification survey unless you really have to qualify those. But if you want more volume and less qualification, they've already filled out the opt-in form. So we've already put them in our CRM. This button could literally just take them. You can just change the button action to take them to the next step. And that's actually how it's set up right now. But if you wanted to have them do the qualification survey, then you just do the same thing that we did before, which is you add a different pop-up on this page. So let's check our pop-up, just make sure that we don't have anything. Go to our pop-up settings. And right now this should be disabled. If you want to use the pop-up, I'm just going to disable it because it's blank and empty right now. And I don't want you guys to accidentally have a pop-up that's blank and empty. Change this and put some information in the pop-up if you actually want to use it. It doesn't have to be a form, it just be a reason why they should book with you. Okay. But yeah, you do not have to do the qualification survey if you just want more volume. Okay. Down here, this is where we're going to state, right? What is this? What is what is this? Probably me that made that mistake. Okay. What will it do for you? All right. And then we got the bullet points. How it works. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Schedule a call here. Then at the very bottom, we have our testimonials, right? Social proof. Okay. Again, this is something that people overcomplicate. People get worried about, like, particularly if they're just starting out. They're like, I don't have any testimonials. Nobody's made me a video review. Nobody, right? I I don't have any. I got one review on Google and I got two on Facebook. What am I going to do? What am I going to put in it? Look, this could literally be like a screenshot of a text that one of your clients sent you. And you can literally just open up your phone and text like someone that you work with and say, hey, will you send me a text that, talks about how I've helped you, something that I can use online, right? Um, someone might, you could also do the same thing through like Messenger, right? Like tell someone, hey, can you just send me a messenger talking about how I've helped you, right? Working together, something like that. Like screenshots are useful as well. It does not have to be something that, it doesn't have to be from Trustpilot, right? So don't worry about it. Chill out on this part. And listen, if you don't want to put testimonials, you can literally just come right here and delete this part, right? You don't have to have testimonials. I think that testimonials are way overused on landing pages. Like I go to pages and I see where people have like 40 different testimonials. And here's the thing, most of the time that you see that, it's all like video reviews that they had, that they hired people in the Philippines to video record, or it doesn't have to be in the Philippines, but they're paid testimonials. Okay. Everybody is wise these days. Okay. We know that people have fake reviews. We know that people use fake testimonials. Everybody knows this. Okay. And so the reason that I hate putting testimonials on here is because number one, I don't want people to think that I might be just creating false testimonials, right? I'd rather just not use them at all. But you could feel differently. And hey, if you've got a bunch of reviews and you want to put screenshots on here, go for it. It's there for you. So that's good. Schedule a call. Again, this button just going directly to the booking page. Now, let's go and look at our book a call page. Now, right here, all that you have to do is come over here and choose your calendar. And we've already created like a template calendar for this funnel, the automatic appointment funnel calendar. You just choose that. And it's not going to work because it's not integrated yet. Um, so it's going to show a 404 until we get that integrated. But this is where you'll put your calendar. Keep this page super simple. Like the only thing that I would probably add is if you want to keep your footers, right? If you want to have a general footer that you use on all your pages, go ahead and do so. That's fine. But again, keep this pretty simple. Book a call below. Use the disclaimer, even unless you don't need to. Again, this is all about, do you want volume or do you want highly qualified appointments, right? And there's nothing wrong with putting, hey, we only work with those doing 25,000 per month, right? We only work with people that with a 20K ad budget or whatever it may be, right? But if there is some minimum requirements, go ahead and state them here. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And in the check sheet that I'm giving you, I gave you some more information right here about the way to frame it and how to say it, and also to, what I see people doing a lot that is going to affect the types of people that get on your calendar is there's an old saying, you cannot catch whales with minnow bait. Okay. What that means is sometimes we say the wrong thing that is going to exclude our ideal prospects, right? Like if we're looking for people that have big budgets, right? Uh, we don't want to say like, hey, I've helped over 50 people go from 0 to 10K a month. If you say that, you're going to attract more people at 0 and nobody who's above 10K a month will pay any attention to it. All right. So be very careful in how we frame it, right? Like, okay, yeah, we can help someone go from 0 to 10K, but we don't want that type of person. It might not be who you're looking for. If that's exactly who you're looking for, like if your offer is for people that are just starting out and they just need a jump start, right? And you're that person that comes in and gives them a jump start, then by all means use a framework like that. But just always be aware of who you're actually going to attract based on the way that you frame your offer. And using minimum requirements is a very good idea if we have those minimum requirements. We already went through the thank you page, which again, and I even put it in the name of the page, ensure they show up, right? That is the point of a thank you page. A thank you page is another very underutilized tool that we all need to think more about. How do we optimize our thank you page, right? We get stuck on this, we have tunnel vision. We're like, okay, I got to optimize my opt-in page, right? My lead magnet page. Got to optimize my sales page. I got to, optimize my booking page. And we get to the thank you page and we're just like, thank you. Cool, right? Like, but if you think about it, that thank you page, these are the people that are paying the most amount of attention. They have done all of the things that we want them to do. So let's put our best foot forward, right? And let's see, like, what else can we do, right? Like, where can we send them? And let's say that, maybe we have a YouTube channel where we put up a lot of information, right? You could be like, hey, thanks, look forward to seeing you on the call. In the meantime, here's a link to some videos that I put on YouTube that explain how to do X or Y, right? If you want to learn more about our process, go here, right? So you keep them in the loop in that thank you page. Don't always just have like a dead end page where they go nowhere, right? We want to keep them in that loop. So think about that when you get to setting up your appointment page. Other than that, I think we went over all of the crucial elements of setting this up. Like I said, I'm going to attach this check sheet to the training section, and you'll also be in the automated appointment funnel training course. It'll also be in past workshop replays. Other than that, let me just quickly check my Q&A. I always got to remember to check Q&A. See hosts and panelists. Let's go to and I think we just have the chat. It doesn't look like we have the Q&A enabled on this. So if anybody has any questions or anything else that you want for me to go over, I'm going to give you a couple minutes to put it into the chat section on Zoom. Let me know. And if nobody has anything else, I think I went over the questions that that I got offline. Okay, the one for David, I'm I'm gonna go over tripwire versus self-liquidating offer funnel. I'll go in depth on that on the next workshop, which the next funnel building web shop workshop is going to be specifically on digital products, selling digital products online. So we're going to go through the nuances or differences between a tripwire versus a low ticket offer versus versus the SLO and all that stuff. Not really going to go too in depth on it, but yeah, simple answer, yes, there's a difference. It's not a huge difference. It's more of a distinction than a difference, really. But we'll save that for the next workshop. So funnel builder workshops, just so everybody knows, I guess because I didn't do the announcements when we got started today. Our funnel builder workshops are going to be every Monday at 12 p.m. San Diego time, Pacific time. Okay. Our ads workshop. I believe that we are doing those on Wednesdays. And then we're going to have another workshop that we're going to be doing on Fridays. So I've got, as of right now, and not all of them are in the community yet, but as of right now, we've got 3 workshops that we're going to be doing each week, all live on Zoom. I'm also thinking about doing a 4th workshop where it's going to be more like a one-on-one environment where I'm going to choose someone from the community that actually wants to go over their stuff. Okay. Now the caveat to that is you have to be okay with like sharing your screen and showing people what you're doing inside your shop. So, if for some reason you don't want people to see your stuff or see your offers, which I've had a lot of pushback on that. I don't know why it is. If you're running ads, you're showing stuff to everybody online, but I guess some people are just worried about showing their internal processes. I guess I don't know, but yeah, you have to be okay with me sharing it with the community. But yeah, other than that, I'll go through that on the next workshop. So yeah, we've got 3 workshops each week we're going to be doing. Yes, there will be replays. Yes, they will be posted in the Learning Center. Other than that, doesn't look like I have any other questions. So we'll end it here. Hope this was helpful for everybody. If you did get something out of this, please go to the community. I've got a whole channel that's just dedicated to these calls. Let me know what you liked, what you did not like. If I left out anything, good or bad, just let me know the experience that you're having in these workshops, because I do really want to hear from you all. I want to hear how I can better serve you all. So with that being said, I appreciate those that attended today. Those that did not and are catching the replay, you should have been here for the live one. It could be way more fun. But other than that, cheers, and I will see you all inside the community. Take it easy. Bye-bye.